What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Unstuck Your Business Live. My name is Matt Beard. This is the first time you're tuning in. We go live every single Thursday. And on Thursdays, we're showing you how you can implement virtual assistants in your business to find leverage. Over the past 3 weeks, we've been talking about CRM hacks. Today is the last part of that 3-part series. We're going to be talking about organizing transactions today. And who better to bring on to do that than one of our transaction coordination concierge client. She does us all so many things. Karen, say what's up.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's nice to be back here again and again. Good
That's
morning.
right. Good morning, America. Hello,
Yes,
world.
sir.
Let's go. So excited to have Karen on today because she kind of handles multiple roles when it comes to dealing with our transactions. But I want to show you guys how we're able to do this in Podio and then taking it from Podio and how we create a great customer experience. I'm all about customer experience, guys. So if you're watching this today, understand, if the folks who focus on the transaction and make the deal very transactional will never really grow their business to the level that they want. If you're hoping to do $100,000 a month, $150,000 a month, a crazy amount of volume, you need to focus on the end consumer and how can you create a great process and create, by the time it's said and done. I mean, I see this so much by, a lot of, other investors where, they're just focused on the money they make right now. And then by the time it goes to closing, they're really begging the seller to freaking sign documents to close. Like, we want our sellers to run down the title and sign because they're excited and they had a great experience from start to close. So our job really starts, not like, it doesn't end where the acquisition team gets the signature and we got to sign contract. Really, our job starts right there, getting that deal from signed all the way to closing, because we get paid when the deal closes. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to open this in a new window so you guys can see my CRM, and we're going to kind of break it down together. We've been doing this up to this point. So this is, again, guys, this is week number 3. We're going to be talking about transaction. So I'm going to make the screen a little bit smaller so I can see this one. Karen, can you see my screen okay?
Oh, yes, sir.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So if you have Bomb CRM, I'm working this off the Bomb CRM platform. If you don't have Bomb CRM, you can still take the same idea and implement it in your business. But what I did is I just kind of took a blank slate of what Bomb CRM would look like if you were a subscriber. And within the seller lead app, you see where I just made this lead. Okay. Matt Beard. All I did was, when I created this opportunity, very simple, I went add seller lead. Again, if you guys have been following up to this point, how the lead flow and the lead follow-up works, seller lead are folks who are ready to make a decision, right? Your leads don't make it to this app without going to opportunities first. Every single lead comes into your system as an opportunity. If they've been vetted, they're ready to sell. Great. You push that to acquisition. This is how we do it. We separate the two apps. And within the app here, seller leads, the acquisition team actually works out of. So I'm assuming, Matt Beard actually came into the system as an opportunity. Matt Beard was ready to make a decision, push it over to seller leads. Now within seller leads, I have the address, right? And what happens when you enter your address in Bomb CRM, it pulls the property card and it automatically pulls the Zestimate for that property and all other information that's in Zillow for that said property. I entered the phone number. Obviously, you can see where I can call myself. That's not really my number, but I can click call with smartphone and it would ring because we have smartphone attached to our CRM, guys. So if you don't know what smartphone is, I won't go into crazy detail. If you look back at our Crucial Tools Podio section, you can kind of see us go into a little bit of detail about smartphone. It's how our agents make our calls within our CRM, right? It's a different platform. It's a different dialer. Our outbound dialer is different from the dialer that we use to call our actual leads. Okay. Smartphone is the dialer we use to call our leads. You'll see that I have an email, all this other good stuff. Now within Bomb CRM, all I did was, before we came on the live, I hit create offer, right? It comes in the system as a new lead. I clicked on create offer. You see this 5 minutes ago, right? An offer item has been created. Go here. So if I click here, it'll actually take me to the offer app. Okay. Within the offer app, I can create my my agreement. So let's just say for this property, we're going to pay 300,000. Okay. Inspection days, let's say 10 days. Earnest money amount, let's say $1,000. The acceptance date is automatically generated. Let's choose our closing date. here. So this is boilerplated, guys. I can literally just click off the list as I go through. My title agency of choice, I would, you know, pick a title agency. Additional terms, I can put in whatever I want here. Property to be vacant at close of escrow. Okay. Whatever else you guys want to add in additional terms. And now this is done. If I had an acquisition member working this, I would choose their name off this list. Let's just say John Doe was the acquisition team member who was working it. So I can make sure John Doe gets his commission, right? Offer is new. Now what I have to do is I have to create the offer. You guys will see. Once I click the create offer button, it'll actually create it. Bam. Now we have our boilerplated template. You guys will see. I can click on it. And this is the offer, right? I just entered the information. Matt Beard. Bomb CRM is the company name. 123 Main Street. Legal description to be determined. 300,000. Buyer to pay all closing costs. So that automatically generates this contract for us. I don't have to go out and enter these things one by one. This is as good as agreement as we use for any state. Is like we can literally use this in any state. Okay. Now, after this is made, I can now click send offer. Okay. When I hit send offer, it'll actually notify me. I'm sure I'll get an email here in a second from the CRM. And once it's sent, it'll come to me. There we go. Boom. Just came to my email. And I can click on that offer on my cell phone. And obviously, I would be the prospect. I can click sign. As soon as that offer is signed, it'll automatically mark this as mark offer signed. Bam. Great job. This offer signed. A transaction inventory item has now been created. Okay. So as soon as we get the contract signed, it is automatically marked through GlobyFlow. This is already in place. Or if you're using Bomb CRM, it helps you organize this, right? But now that it's been signed, I can go to transaction or the inventory. And this is where Karen comes into play. Karen is like the first touch. What I expect, from anyone who does the transaction coordination is they help organize all the paperwork. I, as a salesperson in the beginning, I sucked at getting the paperwork together. I sucked at getting everything. Like as soon as I got the contract signed, I was like, okay, next one. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. Right? That was my job. So getting the back end organized is very, very important. So you can see and you can track your deals, like, because I don't know about you guys, how many times do you get a deal signed and then you have a tough time selling it, right? Or how many times you get a deal signed and then you drop the ball scheduling a photo inspection or drop the ball getting buyers in there. Because if you're a one-man show and you're trying to do this on your own, you're not just worried about this one deal, you're worried about all the other ones you're trying to service too, right? So Karen is in place to be that person for our company, to be the person to say, hey, so I know you spoke with Matt, or in this case, I know you spoke with John Doe. We're excited to work with you. My name's Karen. I'm actually one of the transaction specialists over here at Yada Yada Company. We're calling because just want to schedule our first photo inspection and wanted to work with you to see when your availability is, right? So Karen will call, schedule that photo inspection for our professional photographers for all of our deals, but she works out of the transaction app. Okay, so as soon as a deal hits here, Karen has the seller's name. She has the phone number. She has the email address. She has everything that she needs, right? So when she calls, she knows who she's calling about. She has the phone number she needs to call, and she has if we need to send an email, she can send them an email, right? But Karen can also update here saying, at whoever, at John Doe, whatever. So she can tag John Doe and say, hey, I'm having a tough time reaching the seller. Can you give them a quick, Jesus, I can't spell, quick call and my number, right? She can put that here and she can tag whoever's working the lead. And that way John will know that, hey, I need to give this person a call. But this is where Karen steps in and she helps us schedule those inspections and works with our dispo department to make sure everything's nice and smooth. Not just that, Karen also, once we had this deal under contract, we have the transaction, the photo inspection has been scheduled. You guys can see it said it created an inventory item. Inventory item within our Podio is how we market our deal. So you can see it here. We can have our advertised price. So if we bought it at 300, We want to advertise it at 325,000. We can do that here. It's a single family. Any kind of special descriptions about the property, it has an Arizona room, or it has a pool, or it's in a gated subdivision, like any other great selling points you can put here in the property description. This isn't Karen's job. This is our dispose job, but Karen helps. Once we have the photos done, she gives them the Dropbox link because we put that into our property description, right? You see property photos, we can just put the Dropbox link here, because what happens is once the description is done, once we have our asking price and all this other stuff, we have our link to our photos, right? We can send to either targeted buyers. So if we have buyers in our database that want to buy in this specific zip code, that wants to buy in 06412, right? We can send to just those targeted buyers. Or if we have a big list of buyers, like, everyone in our database, we can attach them here, right? Our email template, we can choose, whatever template we've already created in the past. So if you're using Bomb CRM, you'll see, let's see, there is an email template app. There you go, email template. You would create your email template here, and it would be attached to that inventory item. So if you want to create like multiple templates, so one for, your targeted buyers, one for general buyers, one for when you're looking for buyers, like you can create all those templates, and you can attach one of those templates to your lead here, right? You can click the template, boom, it's attached. Market property, send to specified email, or send to target buyers. You can click that button, and as soon as it's done, it'll automatically send it out for you. And this is linked with our email, like I believe it's SendGrid. It's linked with our email blast service, so that way it's being sent, and you don't have to worry about going in and creating a campaign. And with Podio, it's automatically done. Once it's sent, we have our buyers obviously start responding back. We have an email specifically for buyers. So when people are interested in the property, it has our photos. Again, they were taken by professionals. So we know that the deal, once we had that thing ready to go, people buy these properties sight unseen. We have great photos. Literally a week and a half ago, we had professional photos done, and we got our earnest money in from the buyer, and they went and walked it. They're like, oh my God, the photos made it look a lot better than what it is. I'm still going to buy it, but the photos made it look really good, right? So that's what we want. Like, we're not trying to trick anybody or do anything underhanded, but we want to sell the deal as much as we like, at the highest we possibly can. So we'll go in and we'll make sure we get wide angle shots. We'll make sure that we try to make the property look as best as we possibly can. So we attach those photos here, and then we can market it. So Karen steps in. She's the person who calls and schedules those things. She's also the person who checks in with title, and she checks in with the seller. So if there's any updates, hey, title needs this, or, whatever, the communication with the seller, she's responsible for calling the sellers at least once or twice a week, depending on where we're at in the transaction. If it's going to close in a 2-week transaction, she's probably going to call that person twice a week. If we're going to be closing that deal in 45 days, she's probably checking in with them about once a week, right? But at the end of the day, we want our sellers to be warm and fuzzy, understanding that we're keeping good communication all the way through. What I see and what I had to struggle with in the past was, as soon as I got a deal done, I would just think like, oh, the seller's good to go. We're all happy. They know that we're closing in 30 days. I don't really have to talk to them again. They know we're doing our thing, right? But a lot of times the sellers would be freaking out. They're like, oh my God, are we still doing this? I haven't heard anything from you guys. I started talking to this other company. Can I cancel? Like, all this stuff, is so imperative that you guys keep good communication with your prospects and your clients. The people who have signed a deal with you is so important to keep good conversation. You agree with that, Karen?
100%.
How often do we have people who think that we're not doing the deal anymore because we haven't talked to them?
As far as I've started the transaction coordination, there's actually none, because just like what you said, I made sure that I do touch base with them at least once or twice a week, making sure that the transaction's still on the track. Everything is good to go.
Right, exactly. But previous to that, guys, like, so many times we'd have big deals like, oh my gosh, it's just a $30,000 assignment. And then the whole communication on the back end with our dispo department would just completely fall off. And then they'd be like, well, I started talking to someone else. Reality is, guys, how often are we going to be the highest bidder? Never. Right. And how often are these people that we're contacting, how often are they getting called by other people? Very, very often. They're on everyone's list. They're being contacted by everybody. So what's the chance that they feel like well, I'm serious about selling my property. I signed with you guys, but they don't understand how this works. Or maybe you didn't explain to them the post sale process. Like we have a whole post sale. We introduce them like, okay, so this is what's going to happen, Mr. Seller. Karen is going to be reaching out to you within 24 hours. We have another team member. Her name's Caroline. She's going to be reaching out as well. Yada, 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 yada. But how often times if you don't have a process in place and these sellers don't know, they may think like, okay, I guess the deal's off. Someone else just called to talk to me and I said 280 to you, but they said they can pay 285. I'm just going to sell it to these guys. You get a nice text message saying, hey, let's just cancel it. And then you have to fight this whole battle of we're not canceling, yada, yada, yada. You can avoid all of that by keeping good communication and staying organized with your transactions. And the greatest thing about using Podio to do that, like all updates that Karen has, she can put them here. All updates that Caroline has, she can put them here. When Rochelle Jarvis, our transaction coordinator who handles most of like the physical paperwork and scheduling notaries and stuff like that, if she needs any updates on the sellers, she can go here and get all the information she needs. And she can also see our whole team's line of communication. So as soon as this deal is done, we can do buyer found, right? So we'll stop marketing the deal. And then when the deal is sold, we can obviously click status as deal sold. So it's no longer in our active inventory items. We can track it here. And what it does is once we have, I mean, if you guys see our fully built out Podio with all of our deals, we can organize the ones where we're still marketing, the ones that the buyer has been found, but it hasn't closed yet. And then we can see the ones that have been sold, right? And obviously that's updated in the transactions as well. Once that is done, right, action is needed. We've marketed it, right? Marketing property. That's where we're at, right? Buyer found. We found the buyer. Deal has been sold. Deal has been sold, right? You guys can see that it's been updating here in our Podio. And what happens, if we have, 15 deals in a month, 20 deals in a month, we can see how many we're still marketing. And we can compare that to our closing date. Like, oh my gosh, we're getting close to our closing date. We can see how many we found the buyer that we're still waiting to close, right? And this helps everyone on the team because it's not just Karen working these deals and talking to the buyers and making sure that everyone's good to go to close on time. It's also Rochelle. It's also Caroline. It's also Harold. It's also all these other VAs and all these other team members. We all need to stay on the same page. And if we have our information in different places or different parties, like, oh yeah, I thought I updated you guys on that, or hey, just check the spreadsheet, or hey, go look on Slack, or like all these places, it gets really, really, really messy. So instead, we keep it all in one place and we organize it very simply. Guys, you look. We're able to organize all of our transactions literally in 2 apps, inventory and transactions, right? As our business has been built out, we added a separate app for JV deals because we want to track how many deals we're getting direct to seller in JV. But of course, you can add that to your Bomb CRM if that's something that you're going to eventually need. But as far as selling of the deals, we can literally track that in two places. Inventory is made so you can market the deal, right? And transactions is a place where you can track it where it's at in the process. So it helps our whole team stay on the same page. And it's very, very, very simple. So if you don't have access to Bomb CRM and if you haven't tried it yet, guys, go get the free trial. Go give it a shot. Implement it in your business. It's very straightforward and it's easy. And it helps our team members like Karen, everyone stay on the same page. You agree with that, Karen?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes. So the main things that I wanted you guys to take from that was the little clickable items. So not just, yes, it flows into inventory. Yes, it flows into transactions, but those marketing property, buyer found, all those things can be customized for your business too. So if you're like, marketing subject to marketing retail, like you can literally change those buttons to do like wherever you want it in the process. So if you're like, inspection period is a button you want. So you can decide if you want to back out of that deal. You're marketing the property, but still in inspection period. You can track, it can organize all your deals that are still in inspection period. You can organize all your deals that you're still marketing. You can organize all the deals that the buyers, it's already been assigned. You can you can do whatever you want in that process, like in those little buttons. So then on your left-hand side of the bar on Podio, you can figure out like, okay, we have 10 deals that have been assigned. We have 5 deals we're still marketing. And of those 5 deals, 3 of them are still in the inspection period. So we have a chance to back out if we can't sell them, right? Inspection period is crucial because you guys know what the deal is. If we're buying these properties sight unseen, the sellers will lie to you. You go check out the property. It's in way worse condition. You either have to do a price drop or you have to cancel. So you need to know where you're at in that process in your CRM, and you can easily do that in Bomb. Like it can literally be customized to whatever you guys want. So let's go over. I don't see any kind of specific questions today, guys. Of course, if you have any questions on what we went over in Bomb CRM, drop your comments below. Today was all about content. We've been giving you context up to this point. We've been talking about, lead flow and lead follow up. And hopefully you guys got the autoresponder we went over last week. It was a simple 10-step autoresponder kind of structure. If you missed that one, that was part 2. Make sure to go check back in on that. But now you see how we organize. Literally, that's how we do all of our transactions. All of the wholesale contracts are generated in our Podio, and all of our assignment contracts are generated in our Podio. If someone says, Matt, what's the seller's information? I just go check Podio. If someone's like, Matt, I don't have the phone number for this person, go check Podio. Matt, do you have a copy of the agreement that they signed? Go check Podio. Do you have the assignment contract? Like, what was the terms on the assignment contract? Go check Podio. Literally every single thing is go check Podio, because we keep it in one spot, and it has eliminated so much of my headaches of being like, oh my gosh, you're right, I did sign that one in person. Let me go scan this agreement real quick so you guys have all of this, or you're missing an email. It gets really messy. I know if you guys are watching this, you probably are feeling the same thing. If you have people, like even you, if you're a salesperson, then you have a VA that's helping you, and you have multiple whatever, it can get really messy if you don't try to organize it. And if you're just getting started, it's a great place. Like, even if you don't fill Bomb CRM to get started, it's a great place to start organization, so you have a clear structure. It's made for it to be like a conveyor belt, for the deal to start to finish, from the time that lead comes in to the time it gets the acquisition call, to the time it's signed, to the time it's marketed, to the time it's sold, and to the time it is closed. You can literally track everything in there, all the communication. And it's stored there forever. So if you ever need to check back, like our bookkeeper, or if we need to see how many deals we did for the year, or if a seller from a past transaction has, a question or something, I can literally go back and see exactly what happened, because all the notes and all the conversations are stored in one place. All the call recordings, if you use smartphone, anything that was ever said on that deal is in one spot. So I can easily go back and check call recordings, notes, whatever. So, if a seller gets to the closing table and says, such and such told me that I could cancel. Really? I can pull the call recordings, right? It's in one spot, and it helps our whole team, because, obviously, Karen has a big role in creating a great customer experience. Like, literally, that's wrong. Like, when we go through these deals and we go through having these transactions, I tell her, we want a 5-star experience. We want a 5-star experience. We want people to leave us a 5-star review. Right? Even if they don't, I want them to feel like, number one, like they're getting a good deal, right? And we're working together. Like, yes, of course, we feel good about the deal. They feel good about the deal, but not just the feeling good about the deal itself. They feel good about the people they're working with. And a lot of that, like, if you see anyone talk good about our company, guys, it's not just CRM stuff. It's not just, transaction flow. I highly recommend putting someone into place. If you're doing any more than like 3 deals a month, put someone into place, like having a Karen who is there to be like, she is the face of the company after we get the deal signed. So having someone like, having a Karen in place, so you guys like freaking have a great customer experience, will help your company not just get the deals across the finish line, but grow and scale, especially in the direction you want. Because one bad review can ruin you, right? People are going to look you up online. And if you have one bad review, it can literally lead to a big headache of trying to get someone to the finish line of even signing a deal up front if someone left a bad review on you online, right? So create a good experience, organize your transactions, make it easy on yourself. Don't go back and forth on a million different platforms. Keep it on one. Tell your team, go check Podio. Karen, give me some final thoughts on this as we wrap this one up.
Well, yeah, having like Podio CRM, it's so nice because it will really like help you guys organize everything. And yeah, also happiness is a choice. Like choose the people that who you will really work with, and who can really show and also like um get the best out of you.
100%. So when you decide on someone to be the face of your company, the reason why Karen is that person is transaction coordination for us. And I call her more, she's like a client concierge, right? She makes sure the client is happy through the transaction. The reason why she's that person for us is because she's like our team mom. She's like everything for our company. Like she helps train and coach the VAs, and she has a great attitude. So, and she can also deal with belligerent people. So you want someone who can deal with angry people and be like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Look, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach out to the team. We got your back. Don't worry, right? So that's someone you need. You don't want like a robot on the phone. Like you guys have seen my system manager Mark. You don't want Mark taking those conversations because Mark would be like, "Yeah, well, sorry." Right? That's all I can say for you. Hang up.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Right? He's not the personable. He's not like he doesn't have the emotion. So when you guys put someone in that place, please have someone like a Karen that will be the face of your company. That will be there to, dissolve issues, bring down sellers if they're angry, bring down sellers if they're being belligerent, and then also boost them up, make them feel good about what they're doing and make them feel good like, hey, everything's on track. We're excited. We're going to be closing this thing in a week. Let me know if you need anything. We got your back. That's what that person's for, as well as keeping it all organized in Podio. So when she does talk to a seller, she just puts her notes into Podio. She puts her notes in the transaction. Hey, talk to such and such. He said we can stop by on the 5th. Hey, talk to such and such. They're actually going down to they're going down the title to sign papers a week early. Whatever. All of our notes goes in one spot. So then I can tell the team, go check Podio. So guys, thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of Unstuck Your Business. It was a ton of fun. We actually have to hop on another huddle now with our team so we can make sure everybody's doing what they got to do. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with me today and hanging out with Karen. Everyone, I want you to get like in the comment section, say thank you, Karen, for being here. And yeah, guys, we'll see you Unstuck Your Business again next week. We'll be starting a new series. So thank you for coming and hanging out. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Thank you.